Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lily and welcome to my armory. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use these funky looking packets that biscuits come in from Woolworths as tabletop gaming terrain. So essentially I'm going to be making reactors out of them. Now in the past people have used these chewing gum packets for, well, bubble gum packets for reactors, but I think these look far better. So let's get started. First off, you're going to need that, and what you're going to want to do is cut around the outer lip part where the actual packet locks in. And yeah, now I came back and just removed a couple of bits and cut some off that I had a bit of trouble with. You could use scissors and it'd probably work a bit better. So next you're going to want to get some cardboard and cut it about the right width to have it to be able to fit that on there. Then next you're going to want to put some glue on the back of it. Now I chose to use stick glue rather than PVA because stick glue dries inside and doesn't need to be overly warm to do it. And you lay it in the opposite direction of the grain of the way you cut it previously. Now it's probably better to leave it to dry before you cut it out, but I was impatient and decided to cut it out so as I could then just wrap it in tape and put it aside for a few minutes. And when I say wrap it in tape, what I mean is I'm going to come along and first I'm going to hot glue this thing on, and then I'm going to actually wrap the edges in tape. So as you can see here, I'm just putting some hot glue around. I have a spot on my desk that I have a hot glue gun live on some of the time, so yeah, I'm just using a drinking straw to press down the edges and make sure that the plastic is adhesing to the cardboard with the hot glue. Now you could use super glue instead. Hot glue is a bit nicer to work with and has a bit more working time. Now next thing I'm going to do is put some wire over the centre gaps to just add a bit of extra interest in there. Now you could just use these without doing this. I just chose to do this step and just glue it in to just add a little extra. Originally I'd planned on painting these up to have to be glowing, but well, that didn't happen, so yeah, I'm just going to cut these out and stick them in. Okay, so now that those are glued on, I'm going to take some cardboard drinking straws because they phased out plastic ones in my area, and cut a few of them up to actually use as to use as added detail. So essentially doing a little bit of greebling with them to just make this thing look a bit more interesting. Now an alternative thing you could do is actually put down some cardboard on the top and actually put some, either use granny grating, though you'll probably have to spray it, or use some fiberglass tape, the stuff that's got the corrugation in, that's got the mesh texture in it, so as to actually just add some more interesting aesthetics over the top of it. So the next part I do is I end up grabbing my hot glue gun. Nope, I just grabbed some plastic. Pardon me, I'm narrating this and kind of talking about how I do it as I do it. Just grabbed some plastic to just cut things off and just add a little bit of interestingness to it, because this thing looks a little bit boring on its own, so I figure why not add some stuff in. So I'm just going to hot glue this onto here. Just use the hot glue to kind of half melt it into the plastic. Now, the thing to mention is if the hot glue gun's too hot, you want to turn it off and let it cool down a little bit before you use it again, because I'm using a high temp gun, which is probably not the best thing for this project, but well, not sure where my cold temp one was, and I'd rather not have borrowed one when I was recording this, so, well, I didn't think to borrow one when I was recording this. So yeah, I'm just cutting off some sprue from a kit and just doing a little bit of greebling because why not, it makes things look better. It also provides extra paint traps. So now I'm just going to cut this one a bit shorter and have it just sit down the centre there, so as to just be a bit different to the rest. And I'm just going to, once that's on, I'm just going to use a bit of sprue around it to use some of the lumps on the end of the sprue to actually block the end of the pipes. Just bring in some hot glue and I'll put on the ends there. So I've sped this up because I work a bit slower when I'm thinking about what I'm doing and thinking about other things, so yeah. It's one of the reasons I'm hesitant to do any kind of terrain making live streams is because I work slower than I would like. But then creative state, you have your mind racing with ideas as you're working on things. And I just wanted to kind of keep this a bit simple. Now, had a bit of trouble with getting the webbing from the hot glue gun off, but I figured I'd use the pipe here to basically just make it look like it connects into the ground somewhere. So, like, if you've got other details and stuff, it'd be easy to work with. I just want to use some of the materials I had and essentially just save myself some trouble. Now, I end up just covering that with a bit of sprue to just kind of hide the gap a bit and make things look a bit more interesting. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of pipe off so as to have it go in the gap, so as to look like those two pipes connect somewhere. Now, who knows what kind of a reactor this is. This could be some kind of funky power nuclear reactor or thermal plasma. Who knows? It could be something, any kind of funky thing. Now, this is just my idea. If you've got your own, feel free to share with me what you do. Now, I don't know if Woolworths in Australia have any kind of product similarity to Woolworths in other countries, so I don't know if you'll be able to get hold of these reactors. I just wanted to do this thing and kind of share the process. So pardon me, I've just glued it in place to have it kind of stick. So yes, now I'm just wrapping the edges in masking tape so as to kind of seal it a bit and make it a bit more closed. You don't have to do this step, and if you used something like medium thickness chipboard that I know Willox Armoury loves, I can't get the stuff at the moment because both Amazon being a thing and being kind of shut down a bit, and also I don't use Amazon, and the pandemic's still a thing here in Australia, so yeah, especially at the time of recording. At the time of actually making this, it was a thing. We were still in stage 4 lockdown at the time of making this, so yeah, I might revisit this at a later date. Who knows? Might do some more cool things and share them on Instagram. Yes, I have an Instagram. You can find it. I'll have my social links in either the description or the pinned comment, one of the two. So next I'm just putting some hot glue around the base to kind of add some texture. And that doesn't really work very well, but I try anyway to make it work. So yeah, I have a whole plastic tub full of cat litter that I use only for terrain. And at this point I'd never commit that tub's contents towards the cat litter because there's all manner of plastic and other things in it now that I wouldn't want them sitting on. Or worse. Anyway, enough of that thinking. So there's a little bit of stuff on this. Yeah. You just see me yeah, I got bored of trying to do the hot glue. It didn't want to work properly, so I figured I'd just switch to PVA glue, and then afterwards I'll go over the top of that with another layer so as to seal it down. And yeah, I'll just stick that to, just grab PVA and stick it along there so as to have it in. And now let's just pour that along. And so here it is painted. Now pardon my not showing the actual painting section of the video, but after feedback I got about the last video being too long, I figured you guys have seen how I do the weathering and such, so it's not really worth doing it in this video. That is if you chose to watch my last video. Anyway, so here's how it compares to a guardsman slash cultist. I'm going to trooper level. Here's how it stands next to a commissar. Here's how it is next to a heavy weapons team. Here's how it is next to a sister of battle. A crusader. And yeah, like, this is pretty easy to do. One advice I'll give you is when washing it, don't let the bottom of it sit in a tray with the liquid paint, because I kind of stuffed the bottom of it up. It's probably it's salvageable, and I'll be able to. Heck, it's probably fine as it is, but it's a bit squishy in places. Anyway, I hope you guys found this useful. It's a fairly easy thing to replicate and to do. Yeah, feel free to share with me if you guys use this video, use this tutorial, and yeah, I've got social media links in the description, in the comment section or the description, so you guys can go from there and find the my Facebook page is probably either my wargaming or my cosplay page is probably the best place to leave any pictures of stuff you guys have made. But yeah, I look forward to sharing more industrial style terrain and more other terrain with you guys in future. The next video is going to be answering a challenge set by Black Magic Craft. Or was it Midwinter? No, it was Midwinter Minis at Black Magic Craft. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.